Okay, guys, and look at that. It wasn't that long, was it? I am back. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for, combat. Let's start with telling you this. And I love the combat system. There's just so much you can do in this game, and it's a lot of planning and strategy and tactics. Two forms of combat. I wanted to change it up for people, okay? And we're going to get to this. Notice over here, our heroes here are battling Banevik. So they're on the Kill the Guardians quest, where they have to kill the Guardians. You know, how many spawn for whatever scenario. Let's say there's 3. So I created a hunting party. And these heroes are just going out and they're just traveling through the dungeon and they're hunting down Guardians. You can have that kind of, think of that kind of gameplay. Maybe even if you have 2 heroes. And like we looked at with the mining, you can, give them power gems so they're proficient. So you could have 2 heroes and they're just like your tanks. They're good at everything. And you could have them be like your hunters for Guardians, and you can know they could take them down. That's a good strategy to employ. So the 2 forms of combat is this. There's combat in the dungeons, or in the dungeon rather, but in the hallways and corridors. Those are turn by turn. So like in the hero phase, the heroes will attack one time. And then in the monster phase, the monsters will attack back. Okay, so that's one form of combat. And of course, there's ranged combat with special abilities like Enwyn there. We looked at Longshot a few videos ago. So, she could be way over here, and if she has like level 3 Longshot, I think she can shoot from 8 spaces away. She can fire at him. So that's like, so there's that form of dungeon combat where it's, like the heroes, it's not persistent. They take a turn, it's over. So it's like, turn by turn they battle, which is very cool. So what we're going to look at is chamber combat. And here we have, let me get my mic, get that down like that. We have our 2 heroes, Zeke and Sir Brennis. They're about to go into this level 1 chamber because there's a quest item that they need. Okay? So chamber battles are persistent. They're going to keep going. You don't stop until 3 things, either one of 3 things happen. The heroes prevail, they slay the monster kills the heroes, or the heroes evade out. Because there's sometimes you're going to go in, and I'm not going to say because sometimes these monsters could do some pretty bad things, and you're going to have to evade out of that chamber. So just know, chamber combat is always, it's going to keep going until it's just a fight to the death, or the heroes get out. So let's go over, kind of getting a little ahead, but I think hopefully you're seeing this now, and I'd like to touch on this. Upkeep phase. In the upkeep phase, that's at the top of a churn, okay? You're going to kind of look over the dungeon. You're going to see where the monsters are at. You're going to consult your quests, and you're going to come up with your strategy for that churn. Case in point, initiative tokens. Remember we learned about these back as rally. I decided that, okay, well, there's a quest item, like I just said, over here. So I said, well, I'm going to take Zeke and Sir Brennis. They're going to get this quest item that we need to complete a quest. I'm going to give Sir Brennis initiative token 1, and over here I'm going to give initiative token 2 to Zeke. That way he can rally him. They're doing that. Just know that me personally, and why I designed this, I like when there's a lot of stuff going on. I love that. Absolutely love it. Over here, we notice... so this would have been set up the churn before, but I wanted these 3 heroes to be my hunters, to hunt down Guardians in the dungeon. So they're in a battle with Banevik. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to give initiative token 3 to Enwyn, and she is going to rally, because she has 3, she's going to rally Mahaliak, who has 4. You do that in succession when you rally. Finally, Faith is going to join into the fray with initiative token 5. You're allowed to rally up to 3 heroes in Dungeon Crusade to create a party. So this is my Guardian hunters right here. They're going to hunt down Guardians. Finally, we have our rogue, Halloum. And Halloum is taking Albus. Albus is our fetch hound. And what I wanted to do with her is take Albus, and these 2 are going to go open up treasure chests because I want to buy some health potions. There's over here in the village, there's something, I want to get another bow over here. So I'm going to hopefully with Halloum, she's going to find some gold right here when she opens up that treasure chest. Give the gold to Albus. Albus runs back to the village to get us some healing potions, maybe an elixir, a torch. So you see how I did that there? That was my plan for this turn. And that's the thing. Depending on what the monsters do on the patrol routes, you'll never know what's going to happen, and in the encounter phase. And that's what I love about this game. You can lay out a plan, but the dungeon might change. And that is one of the most awesome things about this game. I absolutely love it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, though, we're going to go over here because, of course, we have initiative token 1 and 2. And we're going to look actually at a very cool special ability, Tactical Warfare. You're going to like this. Is going to be a favorite, I think. And Sir Brennus got that from the Academy by spending 2 life force. So I have to get my other dice tray over here, so bear with me. And this is what I wanted to show you. I ran this the other day, and I thought this was really a good one to show you guys. So what's going to happen is this. Let's go through this. Now I'm going to show you this. Well, I'll wait on that. Get the warfare dice out here. So we're going to go through like it's the hero phase. So we've already went through encounter and the guardian phase, and just to show you combat and get you a little more acclimated to it. And I think you're really going to like this. So over here. Okay, so looking over here, we have initiative token 1. Here without messing it up. Sir Brennus is right here. So we're going to activate Sir Brennus. And we're going to take a D6. He has his movement is a base movement of 2 with a roll of a D6. So we're going to roll. And that's plenty of movement. So we have a 5. So we're going to take him and go 1, 2. He's up to that chamber door. No action is required. I'm using an action, by the way, to move. There's no action to open the door. So we're just going to he's going to kind of open up that chamber and then move in with 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, what a hero can do is called a rally call. So that's like calling out to your fellow heroes to, join the fray. So he's going to flip over his token. He's going to rally Zeke. And what you do is when you rally, you spend 1 essence, like to call out. You're exerting yourself to yell out to your comrade. I paid 1 essence. Zeke, of course, is going to come in there because they're going to fight this level 1 monster because they want to get that quest token. He's going to roll for movement. And he also he got a 6. Great movement. Base movement of 2, 6. He has 8 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're in the chamber together. Another thing is you are never allowed to reveal the quest item until you slay the monster. So we can see this is a level 1 monster, right? A level 1 monster. We would go over to the champion deck, level 1, and draw a card. I pulled this one the other morning, and I want to show you this one. So when they went in here to get this, a Sister of the Faith showed up. And real quickly, one of the evil factions in the game I created is called the Faith. And they're this religious cult who think that they're bringing this new era into Avalon. So when you play, as you level up, you're going to meet the members of the Faith, and some of them are pretty nasty, and they got some really nasty special abilities. So this is one of the low-ranking members, a Sister of the Faith. Also notice the Silver Star. When you encounter, this is a non-elite. Non-elites have just the origin stories I wrote for them to kind of get you more into the game, more thematic. If you ever see a champion monster and it has a gold star, that means that your heroes have encountered an elite. Instead of the origin story, they're going to have a nasty special ability. We're also going to take a look at the loot and gold roll, which I think you're going to dig. Okay, so they go in and they have found the Sister of the Faith. And we can see that she is strong. She is versed in physical warfare, spiritual warfare, and chaos warfare. So there's our battle tokens. That's what we know what's going to be coming up for the battle. See? So let's go over here. Let's go over to how I have this set up. I think you're going to be able to see all of this. Now you might have to look up to, we're going to set that right here. Okay? I hope you're liking this, because I sure am. So we have our tokens, right? Just like it was on there. We give them a shuffle. This would go a lot quicker, of course, but I'm going to explain a little bit this to you, because what Felipe, how you doing, Felipe? I know he was asking. So you don't look, see the battle chart here? I'm going to just put them down randomly. Then you reveal the order of battle. Phase 1 is going to be spiritual warfare. Phase 2 is going to be chaos warfare. Phase 3 is going to be physical warfare. Okay? Now we have to take our battle tokens. We have our battle dice here. Remember, they're color-coded. So physical warfare, spiritual warfare, chaos warfare. We have them ready. Let's go over here and take a look at what we got going on and how we're going to attack in this battle. So we're looking over here at Sir Brennus and Zeke, and we can see that, of course, they have their starting weapons, but Halloum and Enwyn upgraded their gear. In Dungeon Crusade, you can give your starting gear to fellow heroes. So now they're dual wielding. So picture like this is their left hand, this is their right hand. They can attack in 2 phases because they have 2 weapons. If Sir Brennus only had one, he would only be able to attack in 1 phase of combat. Once you declare a weapon to fight in 1 phase, or you're going to fight with that, that's locked into that. Case in point, you would have to defend. The defend side, you have to put it on your hero card. But in this case, our heroes are very well equipped. So let's take a look at this here. Phase 1 is spiritual warfare. And Zeke has a +1, and Sir Brennus has a -1, or +1. They both have +1. So what I think I'm going to do is, we're going to take battle token 1. The next round, I'm going to go very quick, but I want to explain this for people who don't know. So, spiritual warfare. Now, we notice that Zeke doesn't have a spiritual warfare weapon. That's totally okay. We just want to do damage. However, there's not going to be added nothing except what he has. He's already proficient. He has a +1, so he's okay with that. We're going to take phase 1 and put it on we'll just attack. It doesn't matter which one. We'll say the oak staff. Okay? See over here? Here's phase 1. We're going to push the attack in phase 1. Again, this would go once you're acclimated. It just goes like that. But I want to take the time so you know what's going on. So phase 2 is chaos warfare. Now, this is what comes into play. Both of these heroes are not proficient at all in chaos warfare. Zeke has a -2, while Sir Brennus has a -3. So what we're going to do is, because Zeke has lower health, he's the wizard hero. Sir Brennus has more health. We're going to have him attack in phase 3. And so we're going to see the hunting bow. Again, it's not a chaos warfare. He's not proficient in this, so he's not going to probably do too good. So if we want, if the monster is going to, if the Sister of Faith is going to damage someone, we want Sir Brennus to take that because he has more health. That's simply why. So I'm going to assign phase 2 to that. He's going to attack in phase 2 with the hunting bow. Come over here to the battle chart. We're going to push that up to attack. Simple. Now, phase 3 is physical warfare. We can look at this. Sir Brennus, that is what he excels at. He can add a +3 to all physical warfare rolls. So he is very proficient in that. So it's a no-brainer. We're going to attack in phase 3 with, of course, we're going to assign this weapon, declare this weapon for phase 3. We're going to push the attack here. Real quickly, some people said about defend. Well, why do you defend? It's kind of like what I explained before. If you're here, say a solo hero went in and he has 2 weapons equipped, say there was just Sir Brennus. Okay, so he could attack, but then he's going to have to defend in a phase. So you put that on the body, or, the hero card, to signify he'll be defending in that. Because again, once you lock in a weapon, that's locked into that phase. You can't, put multiple battle tokens on it. That's just the rule of the game. So let's get on with the combat because I'm actually very excited for this. The Sister of the Faith, this one has 4 health. So I'll grab some hit markers once we get going. So then we're going to roll. Again, this would go much quicker, but I'm trying to take the time to, explain all this for you, for the people who are very green to this. So it's going to roll. I'm going to move that. Well, Sir Brennus was awesome. So phase 1, we're going to put our spiritual dice. See how up there? So spiritual warfare. I think he did very good with that. Sir Brennus did. Phase 2, he's going to take damage because he only rolled a 5. And then phase 3, that was a monster hit right there. Well, that was 11. Okay, so let's take a look at phase 1. Oh, he did, look at that. That's a 17. So in phase 1, we had, if you remember, the oak staff. He attacked in phase 1. He could add a +1 to this monster roll already. And kind of what I thought about rolling dice, think of that. That's like how well that hero swung that weapon or maybe shot that bow. That's why I love dice rolling in game. To me, that's how well the hero hit. Maybe the monster was caught off guard for a monster hit like that. So I always think of combat like that. How well did that hero, land the blow? And if the monster maybe was caught off guard, that is a monster hit. So looking at the Sister of the Faith, take a look at her under spiritual warfare. See the 10 there? Okay, all you have to do is meet or exceed that number to land a hit. Well, of course, with an 18, that was a monster hit. So let me get some hit markers here. I'm sorry, I should have had these lined up already. Okay, sorry about that. I tried to. Well, we're going to put that there. So we already have 1 hit on that. However, Sir Brennus only scored a 5. 3 and 2 is 5. And then again, since he is not proficient in Chaos Warfare, see the -3? He's going to have to minus that. So he only scored a 2. Looking at the Sister of the Faith, she is very versed in Chaos Warfare, the 13. I was going to show you Tactical Warfare, but I'm not even going to use it because we could never even score a hit even with using this. But we will demonstrate that for you. So, of course, that's lower, right? See the 1? He's going to take 1 damage. And so you come up here to the handy tracks. And he's got a lot of health, so this, it's not a big deal. Where on Zeke, if we put him in Chaos Warfare, he's only got, I think, 8 health starting. So there you go. Lastly, Sir Brennus, that was a monster hit. 11 and 4 is 15. Plus, he has a +3 to physical warfare, very proficient, for a final score of 18. I mean, he just whacked her one. And see the 11? Definitely exceeds that, right? We're going to put another damage on her. So we have her down now just to half health. See how that works? I'm going to go a lot brisker now because I think you see how that is, okay? So let's go back, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our battle tokens off for right now. We're probably just going to put them on the same thing again. But I'm just going to run through. So I'm going to go pretty quick with this, okay? We're going to take our warfare dice, put them back in here. Gather up our warfare tokens, give them a shuffle, put them out. Phase 1 is going to be spiritual warfare, followed by, it's the same thing, chaos warfare, and I did shake them good. Okay, so it's the same thing. Phase 1, we're just going to go right back and we're going to do the same thing that we did. So, let me straighten that out. So with we're going to put it right back on the oak staff. So for spiritual warfare, we're going to take phase 1, we're going to attack with the oak staff. I'm pushing it up over here like you saw in the chart. Phase 2 is chaos warfare. We're going to take the battle token for phase 2. We're going to put that on the hunting bow, just like we did. And then finally, in phase 3, of course, we're going to go with Sir Brennus again on the worn longsword. And I'll do it now, but we're going to push all this up. So we're going to attack again. And also, side note, there's some monsters, higher level monsters, that might, if their special ability activates, here's we'll have to defend. No spoilers though. But just know that could come up. So let's see what we get. I think, oh, he did terrible in Chaos Warfare again, phase 2. Another huge hit with that. But I don't think, yeah, Zeke's going to take damage with that. But I think we're going to, no, I'll have to wait on that. But I'm going to demonstrate tactical warfare. Phase 1, 3 and a 4. Looking back on the Sister of the Faith, she has a 10. Even with adding 1, the Sister of Faith hit Zeke for 1. So let's grab his hero card. I hope you're really liking this. I'm actually want to play this when I'm done. I'm really digging this. So he is down to 7 hit points. See? Okay, so that's phase 1. Again, Sir Brennus only scored a 2, if you remember. He tried to attack with that hunting bow. And think about that. That makes sense. He tried to attack with a hunting bow, which this is Chaos Warfare axe, and he's not proficient. It actually makes sense when you think, she's very proficient in Chaos Warfare. Now, if we had Maheliak in there, or our battle mage Lorena, they would be whomping on him because they're very versed in Chaos Warfare. So really, after deducting 3, he only scored a 1. He's going to take another damage. So move that down. So he's down to 2. So far, the Sister of the Faith has put 3 damage on our hero. And lastly, and we're going to, so Sir Brennus scored an 11, but plus that 3, that is 14. But let me show you tactical warfare. And we're going to do, even though we don't have to, I want to show you this cool ability. And when I wrote these, I wanted easy ones for you guys. I didn't want very difficult ones, just easy and fun to understand. So let's take a look at this card. Green arrow up means you don't have to channel it. You can just keep using it. You can use it in the chambers of the dungeon. You can use it in the hallway of the dungeon. We paid 2 life force to gain this from the academy. And we can see that it's going to cost us 1 essence to activate that. Okay? Let me activate that real quick. Remember, we come down to our essence bar, and we're going to spend 1 essence. Also, up in the bazaar, they sell Ocher juice. That restores 6 essence to a hero, so they could always drink that potion. What tactical warfare is, and you can do this repeatedly, that Sir Brennus can basically take his D6 warfare die and re-roll it for a new result. This could come in very handy, especially if you're fighting like level 3 or level 4s. But know that when you level this up, all special abilities go up to level 3. When you go to level 2, you get to re-roll the D12. So it gets more powerful as it goes up. So what we're going to do is, even though we already landed a hit, but I just wanted to show you that, what happens. So we're just going to take this. We get to re-roll it because we spent 1 essence. And so we're just going to keep that result. But because it has that green arrow, we don't have to channel it. Remember, that's if you see a red arrow, you have to channel it. Green arrows mean you can just keep going. Say we got a 1 again. We could spend another essence, re-roll that with tactical warfare. It's a very cool ability. So now our new result is 14. He has a +3 in that. So he scored a 16. And we have the Sister of Faith down to 1 health. How do you like that? And I imagine, unless they really fumble, we're going to kill her in this round. I hope that I'm really enjoying this. I hope you like this combat system. So we're going to go real quick now. So we're going to take all these, and I'm going to clear the battle tokens. So I think you guys, hopefully you got that. So you're going to give them a shake. Put them out. Now, see, let me explain something too, and kind of what you want. Notice here, Chaos Warfare came up first. Well, you know that both of our heroes are terrible in that. You always want the warfare to come up that what your heroes are acclimated in or, proficient. It would have been great for physical warfare to show up in phase 1 because Sir Brennis probably would have killed her. So, but that's what's nice about this. It's random. This doesn't, because it's like, fate is determining this, it's random. It gives an even playing field to the monster and hero, which I really enjoy. It doesn't give, either one of them a benefit. So let's just take a look at this. But we're going to do what we've been doing. Okay, guys, I had to get the battle tokens. One had rolled across the floor. I hit it. So I am back. The order of battle over here, we have chaos in phase 1, spiritual in phase 2, physical in phase 3. So and on the hunting bow, we're going to go phase 1. So that's going to be chaos warfare. Phase 2 is going to be spiritual warfare. So we're going to go right back to Zeke here, and we're going to put that on 2. And then phase 3, of course, is going to be physical warfare, which I think, hopefully, it would be awesome if Sir Brennis pulled this out and landed a monster hit in chaos warfare. I don't know. That's pretty tough because he's already, he's not proficient in it. And so I don't have high hopes, but possibly Sir Brennis can pull this out. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be a very cool high note to end on. Okay, got the warfare dice. Let's see what happens. Well, I think that's not going to happen. And you know what? I think we're actually... Well, no, we got to hit. I think we're going to have to actually use the tactical warfare to re-roll that physical warfare D6. But I think we'll be good. However, they're going to take damage. So first, oops, we forgot to push those up. You don't have to, but I always like to push them up so we know we're attacking. Again, 6. I won't go back to the card. You know that Sir Brennis has a -3, so he is going to take a hit because he only scored a 3. And again, we'll go back to this so you can show you. So because she's very proficient. Now that's the Sister of the Faith is very good in chaos. So she has a 13. So she's going to take, you see the 1 there? 1 damage. As a side note, remember, these are normal difficulty monsters. Let's mark this down. So he's down to that. So the Sister of the Faith, she did some damage to these heroes. Real quick, that we have 2 add-on difficulty decks. This is normal monsters here. Normal monsters ship with all editions of the game. They have a white background or glow to their name. See, and then there's a little skull up there. That's normal difficulty. Then there's 2 add-on difficulty decks. If you see a green glow and 2 skulls up here, you've encountered an expert monster. Finally, if you see a blue glow and 3 skulls, that's heroic difficulty. That's the hardest monster. And what I'm going to be doing when I play, I mix all of them together. So you have like this huge stack of monster cards. So literally, I think it's 568 monster cards. You'll never know what your heroes will encounter. Maybe a normal, maybe a heroic, maybe expert. It's a very fun way to play. So I wanted to mention that to you. That's another way to play Dungeon Crusade. Mix all your difficulty decks together. I'd get acclimated to the game first before doing that. And it's going to be, so going back to our combat here, not that good of a hit, even with his 9, because our hero Zeke has a +1 to, see that, so it's for spiritual warfare. So even with a 9, I think he almost did it. Yep. So she has a 10. Close. So if you picture that battle, maybe he got really close and she just stepped back and swiped him with one of her swords. So he took another damage. Now see, when I ran this before, what did they take? I think Sir Brennis took 2 damage and Zeke was fine. That's what I love about this combat system. You'll really never know what's going to happen. So what do we got here? So not that good of a hit. Sir Brennis scored 6 and 2 as an 8. We can add +3 to physical warfare rolls. That's 9. However, yeah, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. and just made it with that 3. So 8 plus 3, of course, is 11. If we look at physical warfare on her monster card, that's at 11. So remember, all you have to do is meet or exceed that, and you've landed a hit. So, I mean, he just grazed her for the killing blow. And so that is it. The Sister of the Faith is dead. But it's not over, because this is what we're going to end this. And I really had fun with this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's talk about the loot roll before we go. This will be a cool way to end it. Notice that the numbers right here. See the treasure chests? And that's a 17 plus and an 8 plus with that 100 gold. Throughout, when you encounter all these monsters, I went through them, and each one of them has a probability of what they'll drop, like a loot drop or gold. So some monsters are going to be, they're going to have a good chance of, they're going to have something of value on them. Some of them are not going to have that much. And that's another thing that I tweaked perfectly. So, you're going to encounter some monsters where there's a good chance to get some loot off this monster. And especially as they level up, your chances are better because they're higher level monsters. So what this is known as the loot and gold roll. You make one single roll on a D20. If you meet or exceed those numbers, you get that reward. So the treasure chest means you can draw from the loot deck over there. So if on a 17 plus, 8 plus, we'll get 100 gold. So now, like, these are the heroes picture. The heroes now are checking her for any kind of valuables. And the way it goes is the hero who did the rally call gets to do the loot roll. But then you guys, if you're playing co-op, you just go ahead and decide how you want to do that. But to me, the fair way is whoever made the rally call. So this Sister of the Faith was not carrying, well, it's a 9. All right, because that's a 6. Yep, that's a 9. So she was carrying 100 gold. See, because we just got over that. So Sir Brennis would get 100 gold, because that's what she was carrying. And that is a little bit of combat. I freaking really enjoyed that a lot. And you know what? Before we go, I'll give you a little taste of something. Notice this over here, this level 3. Give you something to think about when we close it up here. So these monsters can get very tough, really tough. So this monster here, again, I'm not going to give spoilers, but let's take a look at this one. There is the Fallen King. Check that out. And a very awesome artist, Joseph Arnold. Hello, Joseph, if you're watching this. I gave him my design of what I pictured for the Fallen King. And again, yeah, there's, or look at that. I mean, look at those warfare values. I mean, look at that. Think about that. Solo hero goes in, you better have you better have a weapon in each hand and maybe have some power gems. I mean, that thing can do 6 damage if your hero doesn't hit. But notice, remember, this is an elite. Notice that it has a special ability called Hand of the Sovereign. See his glowing hand? I'll say this, and I want to keep it a secret. Your hero, it's a before combat thing. Your hero, you have to select one of your heroes. Hopefully you have 3 heroes rallied. You have to select a hero who's really good with strength, and he has to rush him and try to break his enchanted hand. Like cut it off or break it or whatever. And if he fails, you don't want to know what's going to happen with that enchanted hand. It's bad. There you go. But we are going to be doing a playthrough later on when we get the deep review done. And I am so excited to hang out with you guys and play a full game. Okay, I hope that you liked this combat demo. It was a little long, but I hope that shows you, a little bit about the combat system in Dungeon Crusade. And actually, before we go, hopefully you liked all this. Since we did these guys, so their turn would be over, right? The fun keeps going, guys. Remember, initiative token 3, 4, and 5. Enwood would be rallying Maheliak. and over here to Faith. And remember that we have a battle going on right over here with Banevic. And so, see, I love talking to you guys. I like showing you this. I'm very excited to get this game wrapped up. Leave you with that one. There's a nice one. Banevic's level 1 monster card. Again, origin stories on all level 1 monster cards. And I think we talked about that before. So as Banevic levels up, he gains different abilities at level 2, a different ability at level 3, a different ability at level 4. I truly love this freaking game. And I mean, look, there you go. Look at those warfare values on Banevic. So he could do, there, look at that. So these heroes are going to be like taking him down. So all of them are going to be fighting him. So there you go. We'll leave that on that. Guys, I really love talking with you. I hope you enjoyed these last few videos. I think they were very, just it got you more acclimated to the game. Okay, so now you're going to be seeing the video, like I said, with just the quick one of all of what comprises each edition of Dungeon Crusade, and I think we'll have fun with that. After that's done, we're going to wrap up the unboxing series. We're going to go over, we're going to bring out the Tomb of Kaladar as kind of like a grand finale, but I think we'll keep this board out and we'll do the 5 phases of the game. That'll be a quick one, but that I want to get you acclimated to the churn, like what goes on and all that. And I think you'll enjoy that. So we have a lot coming up. We'll definitely be wrapping up the unboxing series this week. And then that's it. We're going to wrap this thing up, talk to the manufacturer, get this thing right as rain, and let's get this thing mass produced and out to you. Okay, guys, I will be back soon. If you don't talk to me, I hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving. If you celebrate that, and really, it's always a pleasure and an honor talking to you guys. I love it. Love you guys. Do you have a good day? I'll talk to you soon.